Okay, so I'm Jocelyn Ross again.
I'm Macon Hampson.
Okay. And then we had question 1 again for part 2, and it was, I completely blanked, but it was about,
Just name and describe the 4 different types of fossils. I've still got it up.
Yep, okay, perfect. Okay, so for the first fossil or fossilization process, we're talking about amber and freezing. And I have a picture of some amber. If you can see that. I don't know if you can.
I don't think it's sharing.
Is it not sharing?
At least it's not showing up to me.
Okay, share. Okay.
There we go.
Got it. Okay, so here's some amber, and it's just, this is like the best type of way to fossilize something because it's pretty much just a full organism that's just stuck in some amber in some plant resin, and it just like helps fossilize things. And freezing is like the same way. If you've ever heard of the, okay, sorry, stopping screen share. If you've ever heard of like the mammoths that have been found in the ice, and they take them out and they have hair on them still and flesh and stuff. And so it's just a very good way to preserve fossils and preserve species so we can understand them better. And the second one is permineralization and replacement. So pretty much you have a fossil, so like the T-Rex, and it gets buried. And then after a while, the calcium and stuff that was in the fossils of the T-Rex then replaced by minerals, usually by like opal or like other minerals, and it just preserves like the actual shape and function of those bones and the fossils. Yeah, that was that one.
The third type of fossil is natural molds and casts, and this one differs from the permineralization and replacement slightly, because instead of having your minerals filling in and replacing the components of the organism, where you'll see some detail preserved in the natural molds and casts, what instead happens is the entire thing will often decay, leaving a void, which can then either stay empty, leaving an impression, or be filled with something else which hardens inside. And the difference here is while we have the overall shape, we have no idea what the internal structures looked like. So it's has typically less detail than the permineralization or replacement. And the last type of fossil is the trace fossil, which isn't it isn't a body fossil. It isn't when an organism dies and you have either its remains or the shape of its remains, leaving something for us to observe. Instead, you have things like dinosaur tracks are the classic example, where you can observe things like behaviors, their marks made on the environment, which have been preserved, and then they can give us some idea of things like movements and behaviors.
Okay, sounds good.